Bitcoin, we start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to see how we can look at the chart. As we can see, after the price reverse, now we get this chart. I mean, after the breakout of the desktop, we see the divergence, which we pointed in my last analysis, and then we get this down move. Okay, now I want to see whether this is a correction for price to drop. Okay, we can expect the price to retest the previous low, or this is the deeper correction for continuation. Okay, anyway, the way it's moving is really corrective. Just we try to see how we can look at the chart. At least we can read the chart for our knowledge. All right, and even if we see any trade setup, then from there we can look for trade. First, we move to daily chart. All right, based on daily chart, we mentioned that we have been looking for this flat and we wanted the price to reverse. This is what we get. Okay, now the only things we're looking for this correction. We want to see whether we can look for continuation or not. Mostly we can expect we will the price consolidate here for a longer time, because because I received the comments, they ask me that why I don't give the analysis for the long term. I need to highlight that if we want to look trade for the long term, for example, if we want to look for buy, we need to see the breakout of this correction. Then from there, we can make a decision how we can trade it for the long term. Because as long as the price haven't broke this correction, any trade is a short term. Okay, because either the price break and drop, for example, drop to 25, then from there, yes, we can look for long term, or we get the confirmation for the breakout in the uptrend. That means we need to see the confirmation out of this correction. And as I mentioned, we can expect the price can consolidate with this correction for longer time. Then we try to get any trade within the correction, we start to manage it. Okay, because as I mentioned, we have to see the breakout of the correction. Either the price break the top and continue, or we wait for the drop. For sure, if the price drop, then from there we can look for better price and cheaper. Okay, but if the price didn't drop and the break the top and continue, at that times we need to find the trade setup at the top. Maybe we don't get, maybe we cannot get a really good price. We get, and mostly we can get the trade setup, but maybe we cannot get really cheap. Okay, then that's why we try to get the trade within this correction. We try to manage it. If it's moving our direction, we keep it. If not, we just let it go or take it in the small profit or break even. Okay, but as I mentioned, any trade within this correction we consider as a short term, because we can expect the price consolidate for longer time. And whether the price is going to retest drop to 25k, we cannot confirm. The only thing is we want to see the breakout of this correction either at the top or low. There is no confirmation which direction we can go. Technically, the price have to drop before we get the reversal, but at this stage we cannot really rely on the technical analysis unless this one turn to really deep correction. Okay, that's mean the best things right now is to trade within this correction, and any trade setup we get, we try to manage it. If this is the one is going to break the top and continue, it's good. If not, we just take out the trade in the small profit and we look for the next opportunity. Okay, and if I move to forward chart, right, we want to see how we can look for, how we can look for the next trade. The first thing is we have been looking for these three waves, and this is what we get, and we can put this one in relative to the next move. All right, if we consider this is the start of the up move, at least to break the previous top somewhere around 40 and 41, we need this one turn to deep correction. If we get the deep correction here, is very good for us. It can give us a good confirmation that price can at least retest the previous stop. Whether from there can break or not, we cannot confirm. Okay, but what I see here, mostly we can expect this one give us a drop. That means this one is still we are within this move. All right, now we want to see how we can look for trade. If I move to 1 hour chart, all right, What I see here, as a, since first of all we see the divergence, we get this down move. And right now we're looking at this correction. The best thing is if we get the price can drop. The reason is if the price drop, we can get the three wave structure. And even if we call it a correction in relative to this, any reversal from there is very good for us. Even we can go look for a really good trade setup. How deep it can be? Somewhere between 35 200 and 34 300. This is what I'm expecting if the price drop. And we will be more interested if the price drop. Then from there, first things, we see the correction in relative to this. And as I mentioned, if we get the correction, the next move can give us better confirmation for continuation. And even we can look for trade. It doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. Even if the price continue from here, we cannot get a really good trade setup. At that times, having entry above the top, one of the option can be, which I once suggested. Then the only thing is we wait for the breakout and next trade setup. Okay, that's why we are more interested to get one more drop. But the reason is we want to see the deeper correction. Okay, how about if the price drop from here and retest the previous low? We need to wait because based on if we move to forward chart, also we have that possibility. We need to be aware of that because if we move to forward chart, we can expect be within this range for a longer time before we get the next move as I draw here. Then if we get any sell from here there is really good. That means first things we can look for sell. Okay, again it doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here. We're talking about the best opportunity. The best things is if we get any sell, we take the sell, and with the breakout of this low, or we can consider these lines as the take profit lines, we start to manage. If there is a continuation, as I mentioned, based on higher time frame, we just let it go. But if we get the down move, we see the price is not moving, then we know we have the flat. Then from there, we take out the trade and we look for reversal. Okay, mostly I'm expecting this one turn to deeper correction, and from there we look for buy. Anyway, right now we're looking at this correction, and I don't think even if the price drop, I don't think we can get a really good trade setup. Okay, for sell. All right, that's why don't need to rush for sell. And if we move to 15-minute, we can put this two in relative to each other as a flat. The first flat, the next one if break the top is really good, and mostly we can see the divergence. Okay, anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.